Today, I'm critiquing the most expensive mansion in Minnesota. So if you ever decide to buy, design, or build a property like this, you won't make the same mistakes. I'm Arvin Haddad. I'm the how to buy a mansion guy. Let's watch this video together.
This week, we're in the Midwest touring a property that's set to break records.
Every room you walk into in this home just kind of takes your breath away.
655 feet of prime lake frontage, 8 acres of pristine lush grounds.
This property would be $250 million in Malibu.
That doesn't mean anything. Yeah, and it would be $5 billion if it was in Upper East Side. So what?
A true mega estate with multiple structures, complete with a full spa, wine cave, and entertainment level with custom details at every turn. It's a one-of-a-kind offering.
I believe the relative value overall of what this property in all its capacities has to offer is so superior to anything else that can be acquired in the United States of America.
I don't know if you're qualified to make that call. Let me be the judge of that, okay? This is what I do. I critique mansions all around the world. If you're not a subscriber, this is a good time to subscribe. I have properties from every corner in the world. I critique them, technical analysis on properties. So let's see if this is actually a good value.
We are so proud to have built this home, and we're excited for you to show it to the world.
This is a legacy estate built to last, designed to impress, and crafted as the ultimate compound. So sit back, relax, and let us take you through the Lake Point estate.
Okay, let's talk about the architectural style because it is beautiful and it is 100% made up. But before I cover that, let's talk about the lot. You got 8 acres, mostly flat, lakefront, and then the property sits in the middle of the lot like your cat sitting on a couch as if it pays the mortgage. It is shameless, it is unapologetic, and it is absolutely the way you should design a state. Architecturally, I want to call it like neo-Tudor Americano, okay? It has Tudor elements, traditional elements, Hampton elements, English elements, but it works. If I was going to critique it, there's some of these windows that are on the lower level that are really not proportional to the rest of the windows. There's a lot of attractions going on, but overall, very curated, very beautiful. I think they've done an excellent job on the exterior facade so far.
All right, everyone. Once again, welcome to Wayzata, Minnesota. And even more importantly, welcome to Lake Minnetonka. We got so much to cover today. House is situated on 8 acres. So this property features 2 gates. The first gates are right behind us. And this driveway then takes you through the entire property. The surrounding landscape is absolutely phenomenal. We have maple, oak, cedar, ash trees surrounding the entire estate. It is so lush, green, peaceful, and then you have this asphalt driveway that takes you to the second gates, which are right in front of us.
Wow, what an approach. Double gated on a peninsula. What a setting. Tree line. So far, stunning.
The gates here are also flanked by these 2 guest homes that are identical in size, a little over 2,000 square feet, but one of them is a 3-bedroom and the other one is a 2-bedroom. Brand new structures, and they are nicely designed. I mean, we got so much to cover. Now, the other aspect of this property that is so unique is the fact that it has a stone bridge over this pond, because when they created this property, they had to combine 4 different plots together, and in the center you have this void. So in order to take advantage of it, they created a beautiful pond and built this stone bridge. In fact, let me tell you more. When you're building a big estate, you need as much surface area as possible. And when they combined these plots together, they ended up with this space where you have a massive void, or the natural contour of the land created this section. Now, you can fill this space with more dirt.
No, don't do that. Why would you want to do that? You don't need to waste your money on this. This is beautiful. It's way more expensive to fill this up than build a bridge. Okay, not a good idea. It's actually this whole rolling hills part of it. You got 8 acres. You know, you could have hillside a little bit. Actually, it's a little bit more, you know, natural. It's fine.
And on the other side, you can actually see
the next door neighbor. That is an ugly freaking house. Why the hell would you build a lake house like that? Oh my God. Horrible. I'm so glad it's so far away, but I can't wait for those trees to grow.
And here's another thing that I want to cover. Right on the other side, we have the neighboring property. Stunning home. And funny enough, the builder that built this home also built that property as well.
Oh, you shouldn't have said that, Enes. Doesn't help. It doesn't help, Enes.
All right. Now, as we continue, the driveway splits up to two sections. The section to the left takes you to the 6-car garage that is on the main level. And then we're going to take the right here. It splits up again, and the right section goes down to the lower level where we have an insane 10-car garage. We're going to see that space in a second. And then coming up here, we arrive to the motor court, and the estate is right in front of us. Now, this is a newly constructed home that consists of 3 levels. I love the architecture, the elegance, these steep roof lines, and I'm going to cover the details here in a second, but I want to quickly turn this way because right in the center of the motor court, we have this green landscape section with retaining walls, and here we have a massive water feature that is literally roaring and setting this grand tone before you enter the home. And coming back here, you can see the field stone on the exterior, complemented with these limestone sections, whether it's the headers or the window surroundings.
So in a proper Tudor home, these are all would be wood planks, okay? That's why it's really not a Tudor. It's more like modernized neo-Tudor Americano because it's also a little bit of a Hampton style to it. So again, it actually goes. I'm very impressed by, like, it's hard to come up with new stuff and mixing architectural styles. And I think they've done a really good job. So far, the approach, the lot, the architecture, stunning.
And I'm going to be sharing some of the numbers, figures, and costs related to this build throughout the home because numbers are absolutely staggering. In fact, they spent $5 million just on the field stone, which covers majority of the exterior facade, some of the retaining walls, and other parts of the home, including the interior. Then they spent over $3.2 million on limestone, whether it's the decks, the window surroundings, or the headers in this case with these trim details or other parts of the home. And the slate roof here cost $1.4 million.
That's a horrible idea. I don't know why the hell Enes is sharing this information. This is the worst marketing approach. You're selling a $55 million property and you're selling features. You're trying to justify the price. Oh my God, who came up with the idea to put the price of different material to justify the exit price was an idiot, okay? This is not how you sell ultra luxury properties whatsoever. Because then the buyer comes like, okay, so how much you spent? It just becomes a conversation you don't want to have. You're like, so you're in it for 25 million? Okay, I'll pay you 27. Horrible. You do not want to make arguments like this, okay? Do not talk about material costs. Do not talk about the cost of building it. People think like it justifies it. It justifies it to the wrong person who will use it against you to nickel and dime you. Horrible strategy. Who came up with this idea should be fired.
And then you have this grand entry, oversized windows, this timeless French country estate aesthetic.
French country? Where did you get this French country from? It's so not French country. If anything, you could say English country, but not French country.
We have 8 bedrooms plus 2 guest houses that we saw earlier, 18 bathrooms, 28,980 square feet of interior space, built on this lush 8-acre plot, on the market for $55 million. And with that price tag, it is the most expensive home in the state of Minnesota, with 655 feet of incredible lake frontage. The foyer certainly lives up to what we have seen so far and carries out the grandness of this property. We have French oak hardwood floors, stained in dark, and then you can see these white paneled walls, mood lighting on the ceiling with these gorgeous chandeliers, and then we have all these casement windows. And the same detail that we saw in the exterior, around the windows, they brought the same limestone element to the interior as well, tying all these details together, which I think is a very nice touch. Now, as you walk into the great room, look at the view you get. It is absolutely breathtaking. The sliding glass doors that are right in front of us, they are motorized, so with a push of a button, they pocket into the walls. And if that wasn't enough, they also have these transom windows above to bring additional natural light to the space, given that It features double height ceilings. Look at these chandeliers.
No, don't pay attention to the chandeliers. These ones are actually ugly. The first ones by the foyer were much better. The most important thing you should pay attention to here is you had so much natural light coming in. You didn't have to go all white. Where is the limestone element that you had on the front-facing facade interior? Where's those character elements? It's at the end of the day, it's a traditional architecture on the exterior. You have to give me a little bit of an accent in this room. Marble, white with horrible furnishing. I love my great rooms to have functionality. Otherwise, no one ever uses them. This would have been a good place to put a little bar, a grand piano for people to really congregate here for, grand events, right? And you just made it a place that you just walk through every single day you would never, ever use.
Over here, we have the first seating area with 4 distinct chairs, coffee table right in the center. And then on the other side, we have the main seating area. In fact, Armand, why don't you come over to this side? I have a little party trick. You see, we have a massive fireplace here with a marble surround that goes up all the way to the ceiling. But there's actually something behind this marble fireplace. Let me show you. So it is going to slowly activate, and as you can see, that 300-pound marble panel goes up into the fireplace.
Horrible way to sell a property. You're trying to sell a $55 million property on gadgets, and why the hell do you have a TV in your great room? First of all, it will break your neck to watch that TV. It's so high. Okay, this should have been a sophisticated room. This should have been a great ballroom. It should have had that element of a grandness and character to it, so it would give it functionality, not a TV room. I'm sure you have 20 other TV rooms in the property. You didn't need to put a TV and spend a ton of money on this freaking element over here. Waste of money.
Now with that, we're done with the great room. Let me go to the other side so we can check out the family room, dining room, and the kitchen.
Oh my God. Completely white again. And then the only thing they've learned from LA developers is the worst thing LA developers do, which is a ugly freaking live wall. How does that go? Horrible. I would have loved to see some natural wood elements. These rooms get great exposure, a ton of natural light. There's no character in this room. Absolutely no character.
Before I talk about the seating area here, Armand, why don't we turn this way to showcase this living wall art. They have these little art pieces, well in this case it's actually a big one, throughout the home to bring some color, life into the interiors, and it's just a fun touch.
No, it's an afterthought touch. They probably built it out and then they were like, this is cold as hell. What do other developers do? They were like, oh, live walls. Okay, let's warm it up. It just doesn't go. Tudor, traditional, neo-Tudor, classical, whatever it is, you don't do live walls. The whole Art Deco, element was good. You can see there's some Art Deco elements in the chandeliers and stuff. This?
You can see these massive picture windows, sectional couch, oversized coffee table. Again, the scale of this property is quite insane. So a lot of these rooms are oversized, and then you get these views. It is absolutely breathtaking.
Okay, let's talk about the views because they're absolutely stunning. What I particularly like that you see the lawn and then you see the lake and there's a little island there. I think it's called Spirit Island, okay? So there's a little focal point. You see the other side, absolutely beautiful, west facing. You're going to get a lot of natural light coming in. Now, I love lake houses, but that comes with a little warning. Lake houses in Minnesota are a dime a dozen. Why? There are 10,000 lakes, right, in Minnesota, according to their slogan. So there's element of supply and demand, and lake houses could be built everywhere. Now, this community, this lake is way closer to Minnesota. It's the really luxury one. It's the better one you want to be on. But that doesn't mean you can't, there's an actual supply limitation on lakefront properties. And that's why a lot of times oceanfront properties trade for a higher volume because, it's just one spot you can get. Lakes, interior lakes, there could be millions of them.
Moving on. Next up, we have the dining area, but before I cover that section, I want to quickly take everybody out to the covered patio. So we have motorized sliding glass doors here, and throughout the home, we have this traditional aesthetic. You have a lot of great windows, but when they get the opportunity they placed full-size floor-to-ceiling motorized sliding glass doors to truly create that indoor-outdoor transition. And the transition here is quite seamless.
No, it's not. There's oak wood on one side and then limestone on the other, and any door is seamless. You can go at your own house, go inside the house, go outside. It will feel very seamless. Okay, once the door is open. If the door is closed, it won't be seamless. He says the same crap. Every time he goes outside, it's very seamless. What the hell are you talking about?
This is a very cozy outdoor seating area. You have the fireplace on the other side with a TV, and then you look down to your pool area.
Gorgeous. Beautiful. Very cool. So the pool is not level with the main living area, okay? Now, there are times that I think that is okay. On a estate of this level, if you pay attention, when we walked in, the property was perched up just a little bit off, like 3 steps here, you go a little straight, 3 steps up. That just makes the property sit like a pedestal on the lot. Very good. And on the back side, you do have the lake. You do not need to see the swimming pool framing the lake. You have that lawn. You have the lake behind it. It's beautiful. It's west facing. Sun's going to set right there. You can use the swimming pool to create another experience somewhere else in the property. I'm not against it whatsoever. Great placement for the swimming pool on the lot.
Let me take everybody back inside to the dining room, located right in the center underneath this gorgeous chandelier, and we have 3 of these chandeliers in this room. Now, on the other side, we have the kitchen. We have some built-in cabinetry here, espresso maker.
Yeah, all white again. Okay, we're going to analyze the kitchen, but I want to talk about what I like about this room, okay? Because they've done a few things right. First of all, it's a huge family room. The kitchen, the dining experience, and the family seating arrangement is right next to each other. Great volume, good ceiling heights, good width, double exposure, lake view, lawn right there, access to it. Very, very good. But most importantly, it's very close to the front door. It's not too far away. I was recently showing a $30 million home this last week, and this part of the house, the family kitchen area, was so far tucked out away from the entrance of the property. And that causes a huge problem. Why? Because when you purchase the property for the first time to go see the property, you will have a completely different experience than when you own the property. You see, when you purchase the property, you will access the family area probably through the garage and mud room really close to the kitchen, and you get there very quickly. With these big mega mansions, when you enter the property for the first time to see it, you enter it as a guest from the front door. And if you don't deliver that family room, that kitchen, dining, nook, TV room, this room right here, okay, soon enough, you lose the interest of the buyer. It doesn't feel like a home. As to, they would have that experience if they own it, but when they come to see it, they would not get that connection with the house, and they wouldn't even make sense to them. They would just be like, I don't like this house. So it's really important to not waste too much time, have this area pretty close to the interior experience to give that home feeling. Otherwise, they feel like they live in a corner of the house alone and the rest is just not usable.
Kitchen comes with 2 small islands and 1 big island. The small islands feature this butcher block design with a little metal piece right here. And Armand, let's get a close up. There's a small slit here for you to place your knives. And then over here, we have a trash bin. That way, when you're chopping up things, you have waste, you can easily throw it here.
What is this, a culinary school? Like your wife is going to set up some classes, teach the neighbors with the ugly house to come over and learn how to make pasta? What is this? So out of place. And this butcher block does not go with this white marble kitchen whatsoever. It looks completely out of place.
Here we have the main island, dual elevation marble countertop, bar seating, oversized sink, and this is a great angle for you to enjoy the views, interact with the room. And then we have shaker cabinets with these chrome texturized handles.
So ugly. Horrible. Again, you can use that on a condo, okay? Not a $55 million property. just the finishes are horrible. Really, we're just not up to par. The palette is not there. The choice of material is really backward looking. It doesn't have a cohesive character. I really thought they were going to go with Art Deco, which would have played really nicely, and I just don't see any of that.
On the other side, we have our Wolf gas range. Above that is this custom vent design that gives that pop of color and leans into the traditional aspect of this home. And just like I talked about earlier, look at all the paneling and molding details with the marble work on the backsplash.
And no pot filler? Are you serious? 55 million. You got a 60-inch Wolf and no pot fillers.
And then you have this built-in section to display your glassware, all your plates, easy to access. And next to that is your chef's kitchen. It's a very compact space, island in the center with a sink, and right off the entry you can see all the Wolf built-in appliances, your ovens, induction cooktop, another commercial vent.
Induction cooktop for your chef's kitchen. Brilliant. Really brilliant. Your chef's not going to cook there. He's going to be like, get the hell out. You guys go in the chef's kitchen. I'm going to cook in that kitchen. What are you doing? Again, I'm actually not really upset about the space. You have enough counter space to do some, cooking, but induction cooktop.
Now, next up, I want to quickly take everybody back. And Arman, why don't you come this way? So that's where we have the foyer. This long hallway takes us to the left wing of the property. In fact, we have the elevator over there as well. This is the secondary staircase. I'll talk more about this design later, but for now, I want to take everybody this way so we can check out the formal dining room. This space is spectacular. We have oversized windows facing the motor court and the rest of the grounds all the way to your guest home. You can comfortably sit 10 people here, and I just realized something. Well, two things. Number one, the chairs that are on each side.
Don't pay attention to the chairs. This is a huge flaw. You're telling me you had 650 feet of lake frontage and your formal dining room is on the motor court side looking at the fountain? You had a freaking lake. Horrible decision. Horrible decision. Why the hell would you want to go have dinner over here? I just can't understand it. Bad mistake.
In the center, we have this intricate chandelier. And I want to point this out. The homeowner here was very intrigued by light fixtures.
Are you sure? It looks like he was more intrigued by monkey sperm. What is this? Oh my God, this would be illegal in certain states,
Beautiful dining area. Now, next up, we have the wine room. As soon as you walk into the space, you immediately feel the temperature change because it is temperature controlled. The millwork here is absolutely stunning, all walnut throughout, and they paneled everything. The shelving, fridges, everything is made out of walnut. And when I say fridges, fridge covers. And the shelving here holds, I believe, 543 bottles, and the room in total holds up to 1,057 bottles, which is quite impressive. It's a proper wine room.
No, it's not. It should have had a tasting area. Again, 27,000 square feet of living space. Where the hell did the square footage go? This is it? Come on. This is like an afterthought. $5 million homes have a bigger wine room than this. Not really good.
The room, or this section, doesn't end here because we have the doors behind me opening back to the hallway, and the next space we're going to check out is this powder room. The onyx here, this custom vanity, bronze frame, the mirror design, everything about it, and this powerful orange glow against the walnut paneling. This is a statement piece. They went so out of their way for this powder room that I want to applaud their efforts, the development team here.
They went so out of their way not to use white. Oh my God. And Enes is grateful for it. You see? Like, he just got so much white rooms after each other. As soon as he saw like a, 50 square foot powder room, his internal monkey is having a good time. And that wall sconce is so ugly. That's not what you put in a room of this caliber and weight.
We have some windows facing the grounds, but we got to keep going. We got a lot more to see. Now, this is an interesting point. I'm going to talk about some of the rooms here briefly without going in. To my right, we have an office that faces the front of the home. If you follow this hallway, it takes you to an oversized mudroom. And I want to emphasize that because it's a phenomenal space with so much built-in cabinetry, countertop space. But I'm not gonna take you guys there because that's where we have all of our camera gear.
Okay, mudrooms in Minnesota, very important. I like the fact that it's really big. It's appropriate for the size of the property. And most importantly, if you're buying a property in the ultra luxury, really big square footages, you want to walk this experience yourself, because this is the experience that you will have 99% of the time. You're not going to enter the property from the front door. So pay attention and see if you like that experience.
The same space also leads to the 6-car garage that we have on the main level. And then lastly, to my left, we have this door opening up to the junior primary bedroom. We have this small little formal entry space that leads you to the room. And as soon as you walk in, you just see this view and you want to walk right against this massive picture window.
Okay, look at this view. It's absolutely beautiful. Your focal point is the water, but right below it, you see a lawn, you see hardscaping, you even get a little bit of a swimming pool. I talk about this in my Perfect Mansion workshop where I go over all the 10 principles and explain each one and how you got to score each one of them. And then I talk about the interplay and between these principles and what demographics like which ones for what locations. Extremely educational. I have really good reviews. I'll ask my editor to put them up. I'm running one in November. Sign up if you're interested. You will learn more about residential properties than any other course, architectural school, PhD level. I'll promise you, bang for the buck. You will get more value from this course for the rest of your life than any other course you've taken, because by the time you retire, 80% of your net worth would be in the primary residence that you have, the equity you have. So if you buy a 10% better home today, that would be millions of dollars by the time you retire, even if you're 40 years old right now.
Is Minnesota the state with the most amount of lakes? Am I correct on that?
Yes, you know, our tagline is land of 10,000 lakes, but I think it's actually well over 11,000 lakes, to be honest with you.
Why this specific lake out of 11,000 lakes that are in this state is so special, or it is the place to be?
Whenever people think of high-end real estate in Minnesota, they immediately think of Lake Minnetonka.
Everything has to do with proximity. Lake Minnetonka is obviously large, but it's 22 minutes from the airport. It's 20 minutes from downtown Minneapolis. There are a lot of places to explore, destinations in terms of restaurants.
Did you hear what he just said? It's close enough to Minneapolis to potentially be used as a primary residence. Now, let's see if they accommodate that, because in my inner circle, when I'm helping my clients build their dream home, I try to accommodate everything they want, but I also identify 3 different avatars of potential buyers who will be interested in their property when they pass away, and give it to their kids so they can get a great resale value. And that's how you get a lot of buyers at the same time. You get a line out the door, people are interested in the property, overbidding, and the price sells up. Instead of sitting on the market for 10 years, your kids cussing you over your grave, okay? This is the important part. Let's see if they have designed this property both for as a primary residence and also as a vacation home property, okay? If you can get both those demographics interested in the same property, that's your winning card. That's what gives you that extra edge over all the other properties, where you open up the demographics, you have more buyers bidding on your property, and your property ultimately selling at the highest price.
Now, this room features built-in cabinetry on this side where you have an office or possibly a makeup area with a TV. Then we have the king-size bed right in the center. Now, let me take you this way so we can check out the full bathroom. The first thing I want to acknowledge is the fact that they spared no expense when it comes to constructing this home.
No, they have. And this looks just like the kitchen. This is a common mistake, by the way, with a lot of these spec projects that they build. Every contractor is trying to sell you their thing, and they're trying to push you in a direction to say this is the best thing you should buy, okay? No one's going to say, you shouldn't spend money on the pool. No one's going to tell you shouldn't spend money on the roof or the foundation or the plumbing or the fixtures or the marble or the cabinet. Everyone's going to try to push you for the best one. And in this property, exactly, they have not picked the right moments to spend the money, and areas where they could have got away with not spending the money, they've spent the money. Why did you make your secondary, lower floor, junior primary suite look like your kitchen? It's idiotic and it's cold. There's no character.
We have mosaic marble flooring installed in this basket weave pattern. And then we have the same cabinetry that we've been seeing throughout
the kitchen. What a waste of money.
Now we're gonna check out the right wing. This is where we have the primary bedroom suite that we're going to see in a second, and also the staircase that takes us up to the top floor where we have the remaining bedroom suites.
Let's give credit where it's due, okay? This property has 2 staircases and none of them are blocking your views. A lot of idiotic architects, okay, will put a humongous staircase in front of the view, blocking it. And really hats off to the main architect here. I really think he's done a great job.
Same oak hardwood floors. In fact, they've spent $780,000 just on the hardwood floors alone.
Oh my God, they're just digging themselves a grave here. Just keep doing this. By the end of the video, you go to that number and then you as a buyer decide how much you want to profit you want to give them. Horrible decision.
And then going to my right, we have another powder room. Marble floors, marble walls, marble fabricated vanity with an incorporated sink. This unique fixture with these cool handles. And they also use brass here with the recessed shelves, trim around the mirrors, and also as a back wall behind the main mirror with LED lighting. And we also have Macassar veneer panels that surround the vanity. And I was thinking, when was the last time we saw this material extensively used? And I believe it was on Motor Yacht Tatiana with Bilgin Yacht. That yacht featured this material a lot. And then I was just thinking, this home with some of the finishes, details, glossy cabinetry, it does have a yacht aesthetic to it, at least in certain rooms.
No, it doesn't. And this material sucks. Never use this veneer, looks like imitating natural wood. Overall though, if we zoom out, this has a little bit more of that Art Deco style that they started off the front door, okay? Which somehow they forgot about, and then they're trying to do it. But to me, this more looks like a cigar lounge or an office. Again, it really doesn't have a theme. The interior design does not have a theme whatsoever.
Right behind Armand, we have another bedroom suite that I'm gonna skip. That one faces the front of the home with a beautiful bathroom.
This one looks like the kitchen too.
Small storage space underneath the staircase, and starting from this entry, what's behind me is the primary bedroom. I promise we're gonna see that in a second, but for now, let's go to the top floor.
Interesting, but scary. Let me explain. So you have a primary downstairs, and then you had your junior primary downstairs too. Okay, I understand in some parts of the country, people like to have the primary bedroom on the lower floor and the kids' bedroom upstairs. But again, this is what I talk about in my inner circle, opening up the demographics. What if someone likes to be closer to their kid? Maybe they have a younger kid, okay? And upstairs, you better have the junior primary suite upstairs. Now, if they don't, that's a negative, okay? They should have thought that out. You should have, if you had 2 options, at least one of the junior primaries should have been upstairs. Let's see if they have one.
On this level, we have 5 spacious guest suites. Let's go see the first guest suite. In fact, it starts on the right because here we have a really interesting room. Welcome to the hair salon. 2 pedicure machines, your hair washing station, makeup area.
It's not going to sell the house. Okay, good to have, but why would you have it on the upper floor? Shouldn't it be closer to the primary bedroom? Your kids, your freaking spoiled kids need a barber to come upstairs to them? Horrible decision. Again, why did you spend the money on the equipment? You could have just said, hey, you could have given the buyer options. You didn't have to spend the money over here. You could have said, hey, this could be a playroom for the kids. This could be, your massage room, whatever, your hair salon, whatever. You didn't have to buy the actual equipment and sell it. First of all, it looks ugly. It's windowless. It's really a storage area. And you decide to furnish it. Bad decision. I would have talked you out of this.
Now, the bedroom suite itself has a long hallway, given that it has a big footprint, some built-ins on this side. Let's check out the bathroom. Again, marble throughout. Look at the mosaic installation in the center.
Where did this come from? Oh my God. Okay, I see some inlays. To me, it's not Art Deco, but again, they're like changing things around. Let's see where this takes us.
Freestanding tub, shaker cabinetry with 2 sinks, wall sconces, and here we have the bathroom and the walk-in closet. Closet is located at the end, so I'm going to skip that part. Actually, let me go this way. And the walk-in shower. Features the same gray marble, but here they use bigger pieces on the floors. And then on the walls, they use this pattern, which is called arabesque. And it actually continues all the way to the other side. And here we have another intricate installation with border detail and glass inlays. I mean, the craftsmanship in this home.
Biggest waste of money. First of all, this whole powder room doesn't have an anchor. I was lost. We have inlays, we have this pattern, and then we have gold trim. Like, come on, you can't put like a cohesive look together. It did not look cohesive at all. It was like, hey, let me just punch over here and let me throw a bunch of stuff at it to see what sticks. Complete waste of money. Complete waste of, see?
Thousands of people work on a home like this. And so when it's done and when it's complete, everybody is just so proud of their work. And that is probably the coolest part of our job and what we get up and do every single day.
It's not an exaggeration to say this is one of one.
Every property is one of one. I hate when these realtors throw these stupid words out there. Let's talk about the back facade because it's not as pretty as the front, okay? Now, this is where I'm telling you, like, you get these ton of architectural elements really mixing up with each other. These oversized windows that really give you natural light coming in, they look really off ratio-wise on the exterior. Then you have this, you know, Normandy, French Normandy style turret going on over here. It's just not as pretty. Okay, it's a little too busy, but they've sacrificed, you know, natural light, big windows for this. Again, I don't think most people would pick this up, but this is like 5-6 natural architectural styles just mixed in with each other.
Welcome to the first guest suite on this level. King size bed, a lot of windows bringing natural light. In fact, to my left, we have the first built-in seating area next to the windows, again, facing the motor court. And then on the other side, we have the second built-in section where it faces the lake. And right in front of us is the lake porch.
Okay, that room had double exposure. That was cool. It's going to get a lot of natural light in.
Now, next up, we have the guest suite number 2. I particularly wanted to showcase this room because it is properly front facing and also has a very cool ceiling design. And of course, around the corner, we have a full bathroom with 2 vanities, walk-in shower, intricate marble work throughout.
Who killed the zebra here? What happened? We went black and white now? You see what I'm saying? Idiotic and marble everywhere. Oh, come on. Boring. Really boring. Boring.
Now, next up, let's go back to the landing. Now, we saw this section earlier. In fact, we're currently above the great room on the bridge that connects these 2 wings to each other. And it's just a nice open space, gorgeous piano.
Okay, horrible place to put a piano. I would have certainly put it in the great room because you had nothing else going on there. You had 2 seating arrangement, 1 club seating. Again, I would have tried to make upstairs a little bit more cozy. I haven't seen a library. I haven't seen a little like a family nook, right? It's just all white. Like this could have been an opportunity where you could have had a small shelf in the corners, arrange some books, give a different fabric on those benches and the rug to bring a little like, you know, warmth to this.
Now, let's continue our tour. Here, we're not going to jump because I want everybody to get the scale of this property. Elevator landing on this side. And you may think that we're going to take the rest of the hallway, but we're not. There's actually a hidden door here that takes you to a storage closet, and at the end of the staircase, we have something really special. Welcome to the rooftop terrace, situated right in the center on the top floor.
This was really special. Are you serious? Why the hell would you come over here? You got 8 acres. Do you know why people put like rooftops? A lot of times they do it because they don't have a backyard. There is no way. The only use this area would get is like kids coming up here and smoking pot, okay, being away from their parents. There's no way anybody would come and use this space. You don't have it like a water feature. You don't have a kitchen. You don't have anything over here. Special place.
I think the general sentiment is that this property would be $250 million in Malibu. This could be a coming out party for Minnesota generally in this price strata and Lake Minnetonka specifically.
That was word salad. Based on what? Give us some stats. What are you talking about? Just a bunch of gibberish after each other. If you want to establish value in a city that you don't know, you need to study that city. One of the most important elements is tax incentives, okay? Outlook for the state, outlook for the city, the demographics that are moving there, how much high-tech jobs, not blue-collar jobs, white-collar jobs are being produced in that area, because that's what drives growth, okay? He could be right, but he just didn't give us any like elements. Like, I've heard great things about Minnesota, but that was just gibberish. Okay, you want to study the demographic. Currently in the inner circle, I've helped a client establish their dream location. We've traveled extensively in California to pick the right city for them to go and purchase a property there, and we're on the verge of putting an offer. Okay, that's one of the things I do in my inner circle, and this just did not help anybody. Okay, like, we have to trust that realtor. Are you serious?
This hallway keeps giving. Now we're walking towards the left wing. This is where we have the secondary staircase right next to the formal dining room that we saw earlier. Here we have a really cool dome ceiling design, and the windows here give you a very unique perspective, and you can actually get a closer look of the roof. All right, follow me this way. Another bedroom suite here, just like the one that we saw earlier, facing the motor court. Long hallway where you can just enjoy the views, enjoy the American flag. This is a utility closet. And now we have another landing here. At the end of this hallway, we have another bedroom suite that I'm just gonna skip.
Okay, the bedroom distribution is really wide. Like, you have two primary bedrooms, a junior and a primary lower levels on each side. And then you had an extra bedroom down there. And then you have bedrooms on each side of the bridge of the upper floor, but they're also very spread out from each other. Again, it really doesn't bring the family together. It gives each room a lot of privacy, but it doesn't really bring the family together. You wouldn't know where the kids are, right? Like, it could be anywhere in the house. It doesn't really encourage interaction. It really encourages privacy for each house, which is really good for a vacation home where you have guests over, so the parents could have their own area really tucked away from the other family. But it's not really ideal for a family who would want to use this place as their primary, because it is close to Minneapolis. So again, I don't think in that element, at least so far, they've really tried to target the demographic that would actually use this for a primary residence.
Laundry room to my left. In fact, they have one of these rooms right at the other landing as well. And then coming over here, you can see the double doors opening up to this insane room that is so long and spacious. We're gonna see what's at the end in a second. Comes with two identical bathrooms. So let me show you this one. On the floors, you can see this mosaic tiling. That's penny tiles, all out of marble. Marble walls with this intricate design. Vanity with two sinks.
Horrible design. What is this? This design was like in 10 years ago, and it was even ugly then. Like, silver mirrors, come on.
To warm up the space, we have this cozy wallpaper here, and it leads you to the bunk room.
By far the best room in the whole house. It's really warm. It's cozy. It's what you would expect from a lake house. You see, you had the volume in all of the house. You had great proportion. You had the scale. You didn't need to go wide. You had to warm it up to make it feel like a home. And they just haven't done that. And the fact that they've put 6 bunk beds or more, is it 12? It's 6 on each side, right? This is really telling me they're really targeting it as a vacation home destination, not a primary, because, you know, nobody has 12 kids.
And at the end, we have additional cabinetry, more windows, and the oak paneling really plays into the warmth, the character of the space. And if I were a kid, I would have loved to stay here. Now, to close the loop on all the bedroom suites, why don't we go back down to the main level so we can check out the primary bedroom.
So far, so good. I think the interior spaces could be fixed. Those elements are all fixable, but the bones of the house so far are great. The architecture is good. The lot is amazing. Love the frontage. I would love to see the landscaping, but this video has been getting really long. I'm going to link part 2 over here, so make sure to watch it. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. If you want to join the inner circle or the Perfect Mansion Workshop, link is in the description. I would love to see you there. Thanks for watching. See you next one.